Wait for the chat.
Welcome, guys, to a new episode of Full Funnel B2B Marketing Show. And as I announced recently, I plan to host additional the Bootstrap Startup series to inspire, to provide you insights to launch new products, come with maybe with new product ideas. And the goal of this series is to invite Bootstrap startup founders to talk with them. How did they launch their product? How did they come with product idea? What are their learnings? What fails? What mistakes did they make during their journey? You know, they would avoid nowadays. What could they do maybe differently? Who they hired first? What was the compensation plan? So all the stuff will be covered during the Bootstrap startup series. And to help me running this series, I invited a good friend of mine, Stefan, who is a founder of growth marketing agency called Burmeister. He works with software as a service companies, with tech companies and personal brands. And among his clients are companies like Integration, Reinvent, Angloville, and he does lots of stuff, and maybe mostly mix of content marketing, social media, and creativity. And today we have our guest, Chad Burmeister, who is a founder of ScaleX.ai. Welcome, Chad. How are you?
Hey, Chad. Nice to meet you. I like the background. It's
nice to meet you as well. I'm in Winter Park, Colorado, and there's about 4 living souls in the ski area right now. So I have the whole place that you see right there, that whole place to myself.
Nice.
Yeah, cool place. And it's very weird because I'm living in Croatia, and we have exactly at the moment we have plus 24 degrees and you can even swim while you can ski. But okay. Yeah, that's what we have in the world. I hope you are living also in safe environment and you have lots of fresh air nowadays.
For sure.
So our goal, as I made a short intro, and I mentioned that our goal with this Bootstrap startup series is to talk to bootstrapped startups founders to get their knowledge, their insights of how did they launch their product, how did they validate the product idea, what maybe mistakes did they make and they could avoid nowadays when knowing them, you know, who they hired at the first stage, and all the learnings during this journey. So first of all, thanks a lot for joining us today. And I'd like to ask you a first question because, you know, we just introduced our guest, but you can probably do it much better. So please share quickly about yourself and about your product.
Stefan, you want to start?
No, you can.
Okay, no problem. I'm Chad Burmeister, CEO of ScaleX.ai, and we've been around for 2.5 years. My company really, in this crazy market right now, I would almost change our tagline to "We help founders save their companies." It's really that crazy of a word. You know, I just talked to someone yesterday. They had $1 million a year business for 10 years, and they said the husband just left to join the wife in this consulting company. So he left his $500,000 a year job because she was killing it for 10 years in a row. Hey, let's go double the business with you. Well, and then the coronavirus hit. And so they said, now we're tracking to finish at 500,000 total and between 2 people. So they came to us, and you know what we do is we help companies pull data, and then we help them do email, social outreach, digital paid ads, and then we help them do dials so that a typical BDR might do 30 dials a day. Ours do between 250 and 1,000 per day on behalf of the customer.
Wow.
Using a dialing technology that lets them have a lot more conversations. So we're trying to help founders save their companies in these times.
Wow. Sounds nice.
Cool. And can you please check, because I was really interested when I invited you. You are working in an extremely competitive space of, maybe it's a mix of sales automation, mix of marketing automation. Especially in the US, there are lots of software companies who produce not maybe similar services, but a part of the services you provide with ScaleX. How did you come with the idea of launching this product? What challenge did you see in market, or what market gap did you see so that you come with the idea of launching this product?
Yeah, good question. I actually joined a very fast growing unified communications as a service company called RingCentral.
Oh,
I joined them 5 years ago, and I was their head of SDR and BDR globally. So I had people in the Philippines and Belmont, in North Carolina and Colorado. And I joined to try to find what the market gap was, right? What is the need for SDR and BDR? And what I found is, as I built the team from 10 people to well over 100, is that a lot of reps in today's world, they get a tool like a Sales Lofter and Outreach, and they hit the send all button. And they say, well, I just did 50 emails today. I'm like, yeah, it took you about 10 seconds because you pushed send all. And so what did you do for the rest of the day? And the frustration I had is that we brought in highly paid sales trainers, John Barrows and Keenan and Ken Krogh for InsideSales.com, all these really, really big time, powerful people. And we would train the team on how to do the personalization in there. And they just didn't do it. They, like 90% or more just said, it's easier for me to push send all, as much as I micromanage the process. So what I discovered there is, if they're not going to do the work, then I could do a better job by building persona-based emails and handling it on behalf of the team, rather than actually trying to manage the team to do it. Same thing with social outreach, right? Hey, I need you to do 10 social outreach. And that didn't, that wasn't working properly, or they couldn't execute those either. So yeah, it was an interesting discovery. And guys, is my audio okay? I may need to dial in on a phone bridge if it's okay here.
Yeah.
You're good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So I learned that reps aren't needed to do the emails. Reps aren't needed to do the social. Reps aren't needed to pull data. And yet we're paying these reps $6,000 to $8,000 a month to do things that a computer could do. So that was the discovery. And I could collapse that cost down to $500 to $1,000 a month from $8,000. What I need the reps to do is talk more on the telephone. And so there's dialing technology called agent assisted dialing that gets people into conversations by navigating the gatekeepers and switchboards, and then serves up a conversation within 2 minutes of the time they click go. So by redeploying technology to do what the low end work, email, research, et cetera, and redeploying the better level of humans, I'd rather have a team of 2 people at 1,000 dials a day than a team of 20 at 30 dials a day. And that's how I came about discovering this business. I tried it at RingCentral across 30 reps, and it worked brilliantly. And so that's, I left the company and started this business.
Got it. That's a perfect story. Before I started this business, did you have a list of prospects, maybe with who you shared the idea of new software, and they raised hand and told, yep, we are interested in it.
Yeah.
Maybe
So
did you validate the idea before starting the ScaleX?
great question. Before I left my day job, and I highly encourage this, right? You don't want to just jump out unless you have money in the bank where you can afford to go 3, 4, 6 months without making any money. It's a good idea to actually test the market before you leave the paying job. And so we reached out to former customers of mine from the past, and I had a rep who was actually, he already left his day job. So he started calling on my behalf and said, hey, you know, are you interested? Chad's probably going to be starting this business. I'm his business partner. Would you be interested? And there was 3 customers actually who said, yeah, I'd pay $30,000 for that. So we signed $90,000 within the first 10 days of the time we came up with the idea. And then we ended up selling $337,000 before I left my company. And then I realized, okay, this dog will hunt, and I can actually leave my company and do this.
Cool. So you already got a funding for product development.
Yeah, that's right.
you-
That's right.
Yeah, perfect. Great. So that's pretty clear. How did you get your first clients? I was also wondering, did you talk at this moment to maybe to any to companies that use any competitive solutions? Did you try to acquire them and share with them the idea of ScaleX, or you just focused on these companies who paid you upfront?
You know, it's interesting because a lot of companies who have a big internal team of SDRs already and have a software, they've kind of looked at it like, hey, it'd take too much time and energy to make such a change of, you know, reducing the team from 10 down to 7 or 10 down to 2. Like they, you know, no, I already have the head count, I'm fine. So we found it much easier to call into companies who just got around to funding and don't have a sales team yet, right? There's no friction. So we could say, hey, we've got a better mousetrap. Why start with the wrong way when you can start with the right way? Interesting, in this market we're in now, companies are having to let teams go. So they might have 10 salespeople, they need to go to 5. And so now all of a sudden there's a compelling event in the world that says, wow, we've heard of ScaleX for a while. Now we understand why it's better to have someone that can do 10 times more touches using technology than it is to do a one-to-one. So yeah, we tried to go outside and go into teams that were deployed, but it was pushing a snowball up a hill. It was very hard.